Okay, it's been a while since we've done a video with Izzy's take on the world. So, Izzy, has anything exciting happened in the past few months since we started doing recording, or since we last did a recording?
Well, let's see. I feel like I've been able to learn a lot about and social studies and other periods. I guess something exciting I learned was that our science teacher, won an Emmy.
An Emmy?
Yeah,
For what? Like what you do?
I well, I don't know. I feel like it definitely was science related because she works with another science teacher.
I think an Emmy, and I'm not an expert. I think that's for like movies.
She might have made a science movie. I don't know. That's what she said. I trust her word on that. Uh,
Yeah, Grammys are for music, and I think Emmys are for movies. But we'll double check, right? So that's pretty cool. Do you have a liking towards science?
Not necessarily. I'm more into history, um, art. What else? I feel like gym isn't really necessarily my favorite period, but it is a good time to gain friends and socialize.
That's cool. So at your school, like everybody has to segregate. Like they not segregate, but they assign seats to you at lunch.
Yes, they do.
Have you had any rotations at lunch? Like are they changing it every once in a while, or can boys sit with girls, or is it just girls at some tables and boys at others?
It seems like it's only boy tables, and then girl tables. And then there is no rotations, so I guess there's no really good chance to socialize with different people. It's just kind of like you're stuck there with a certain group, so if you don't like it, I guess you'll have to take it up with the teacher.
So do you feel that that's like acceptable? I mean, do you feel that you should be able to interact with boys if you wanted to, or with other tables or other girls?
Yeah, I think you should have an ability to have some rotations and mix up genders, because then it'd be more, at least interesting, a chance to get to know different people. I mean, I don't know if they have some thought about, like, oh, maybe girls work better with girls rather than boys and girls. I wouldn't know, but I mean, I think it'd be a better opportunity for two different genders to communicate.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because like when I was in I guess grade school, you could just sit wherever you wanted to, like wherever you felt like you had a seat or whatever. So there was no like assigned seats. But you also have assigned seats on the bus, right?
No, on the bus you could sit anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of, in a way, kind of funny. You cannot do that with lunch, but you can do that with the bus. Although you cannot sit next to anybody on the bus.
Really? So in your bus right now, because of COVID,
Only one
you
person per seat.
one person per seat. And do you find that the kids on the bus are like following the mask rule, or do you guys get in trouble if you take your mask off?
Yes, usually kids will be yelled at if they have their mask down or anything of the sort. If you have, I mean, with the social distancing thing, I don't really see it. It's mostly because it's difficult with different people trying to get to different places at the same time. So social distancing opportunities is a bit difficult in the hallway, so that usually doesn't happen.
What doesn't happen? Like where they take the mask down?
Oh,
Or
I mean, the mask sometimes goes down, but with social distancing, that's a bit more difficult in hallways, so that doesn't happen.
okay, so kids in school can't maintain social distancing while they are going between classes.
Yeah, because so many people are trying to get to different places that despite there being arrows for different directions, and people do follow that, I do believe so, it still makes it difficult to get place to place.
Do you follow the rules when you're at school? Do you like follow the arrows and stuff like that, or
Yeah, I'll follow the arrows usually, just because most of the time, I mean, it's like it isn't too much of a hassle. Social distancing though is a bit more difficult. I try, but sometimes I may be a bit forgetful.
yeah? I think people, as time is going on, they're getting a little bit less, like I guess more forgetful about socially distancing, because like if you go to a restaurant or something like that, I notice more and more people are getting closer and closer together. But what do you think about the whole socially distancing thing? Do you think that that's effective in regards to like trying to prevent the spread of germs?
I'm not very sure. I've not done research as of recent. It could possibly be, but I mean, the disease is airborne, so I mean, I'm not sure how you social distancing could technically prevent that. But I mean, again, I don't really have much to say. There isn't much I could say because I am not very. I won't say I am the most educated on the topic as of recent.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. So, I guess since like things are starting to open up a little bit more, is there something that you've been wanting to do that you haven't done in a really long time?
You know what? No, not really, if I'm being honest. I mean, I kind of just been stuck in my own world. I'm more focusing on my art, my music, what I can do, and and walking in nature, etc. So there hasn't been much I've been focused on or been willing to go to. Just kind of been in my own world, doing me.
So you wouldn't want to go to like, I don't know, Chuck E. Cheese, or obviously that's like
That's like,
juvenile type of but that's the example. So like there's no like, I don't know, big theme park or movie get-togethers like they used to have at your grade school or anything like that you're like, oh my gosh, I just have been waiting for a year to get back and to do that.
nope, not really.
Well, that's good. Yeah, kind of living your life in your own way, right?
Yep, pretty much.
That's great. So, how has like socialization going since you've gone back to school? Like, do you feel like you're getting along with all of your classmates, or?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, pretty much. I haven't had any big dramas or anything. I've been making friends slowly but surely.
Well, that's good. Do you feel like other people in your school are having a hard time getting back into the groove, or do you think that they're just, you know, good with everything?
I think everybody's pretty much good with everything, and besides maybe the mask thing, like some people have a bit of difficulties with that.
Do you think they're having difficulties with just like wearing the mask, like the physical aspect of it, or do you think that they are kind of wanting to rebel against it?
I am unsure. I feel like it may be more physical issues rather than rebellion.
How has wearing a mask at school affected you physically?
Well, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to breathe, which I know it may sound to some a bit like, oh, you're a Karen or whatever, and that's cool if you think that. But yeah, sometimes it does become difficult to breathe.
So, in like what situations? Just sitting there, or do you find that it's difficult to breathe, like when you're moving,
Well,
or?
sometimes the mask when I'm breathing, it'll just kind of like, when I breathe, it pulls the mask back to my nose, and so therefore I can't really breathe. So, making breathing more difficult, and then exercising isn't that bad.
You just started going back to a gym class, like
Yeah.
I should say PE class, right? Physical education, since we know some teachers who teach PE and they get kind of like irritated over the term gym. But like, have you had to wear a mask during?
Yeah.
And so, like, are you like running and stuff
Yeah.
like that? Do you find that it's difficult to breathe when you're like doing that kind of exercise, or do they let you take the mask off when
Nope.
you're doing? So you have to stay there with the.
Yeah.
So has that caused problems?
I sometimes I get a bit exhausted, yes, but I wouldn't say it's caused me major issues.
How about like when you have like you have health issues? Do you want to explain what your health issue is?
Well,
No, you don't. Okay, so that's fine. So, but you have issues where sometimes you start to have problems with like almost passing out, but getting dizzy or losing your vision and stuff like that.
sometimes pain in the chest and hyperventilation and etc. Yeah.
So is that something that you find is like, I guess, irritated by wearing a mask or going through gym class and wearing a mask, or do you feel that your health issues aren't really impacted at all?
I wouldn't say my health issues are very impacted at all. Not really.
Okay. And so what would you say to kids out there that are struggling with like Like, do you feel claustrophobic when you're wearing a
No.
mask at all? Like, do you feel like you're
No. Nope.
no?
No problems with that.
No
No
anxiety.
claustrophobia or anxiety or whatever.
So what would you say to kids that are experiencing some kind of issue?
Well, I'd say consult somebody about it, whether it be an adult or a teacher. And if they aren't believing you, then I think you do need to find some people who will believe you. If you are having issues or any issues at all, it would be best to inform somebody that way, because your problems aren't fake. It's if you're having health issues, they need to be possibly examined or whatever. That way, you know, and your parents know, and whomever, if it is a bigger situation at hand or not.
That's pretty wise thoughts. I mean, I think you're right there. You know, consult a family, mom, dad, and stuff like that. See if you can get some assistance. And I guess, you know, technically people that do have that issue, maybe they can get like breaks, more frequent breaks or something like that to help alleviate some of those symptoms. So, do you feel like doing masks and socially distancing at school is like productive, or do you feel that like germs are just going to be kind of everywhere? Or do you have a thought on like what would be better? Like, we have a lot of air purifiers, and there's stuff like UV lights and things like that that are out there. Do you think that there's a better way of handling things than just putting masks and like social distancing?
Well, I'd say if you are in a situation where you maybe played outside or whatever, definitely frequent washing of the hands. And I mean, it's hard because I mean, this still in a way is kind of new. I mean, it may have been a bit of a long time, but it doesn't feel that way. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if do I really know if there's any better solutions? I mean, yes, possibly there could be better ways of handling situations, but right now this is what we have and what we know we can do. So I guess if you do have some better ideas, then let's go for it, I guess. I mean, whether it be using hand sanitizer or whatever your tips or tricks are. And I think about germs in a way, it's like we are always going to get sick, like whether you like it or not, right? No matter what. It's like whether you come down with a cold or etc., etc. Germs are everywhere. It's been this way since the dawn of time.
Yeah, I guess technically we all came from like, you know, bacteria and pond sludge or whatever, if you believe in the theory of evolution. So, well, I think those are really good words of wisdom, and I think we'll end this video here. So, your final goodbye.
See ya.